Stand and cheer for old JUCO, shout till the rafters ring. Stand and give a cheer once again, let every loyal heart now sing. Then cheer to the happy hours, cheer for successful days, cheer for dear old junior college, the comrade of our hearts always. To our team, to our coach, who are fighting to lead us to victory. To our school, we pledge now and forever our loyalty. To the dean, to the fates, to the maker of men and their destinies, to the eyes, to the lips of the lassies who love us the best, stand and cheer for old JUCO.
Hi, my name is Ty Covey, and I was the Outstanding Sophomore for 2019. It's my privilege to take you on a journey through the first 100 years of Fort Scott Community College. Let's go.
On November 5th, 1918, Fort Scott Junior College became more than just a dream when a majority by 1,500 approved adding 2 years of education to the Fort Scott Senior High program. The JUCO, as it became known, held their first classes at Fort Scott High School on the 3rd floor in 1919 with only 17 students. These students created the school's first newspaper, The Scribbler, in 1920. In 1921, they put on the first play, The Man in the Box, and the first student government president was a woman, Catherine Leffler. Athletics play a major role in the history and future of the college with the first tennis tournament in 1922, the first football game in 1923, and the first basketball game in 1924. The first cheerleader was Kenneth Burge. In 1926, the first college annual named, the Maroon, joined the Scribbler in production, and in 1927, enrollment broke 100 with 103 students. Basketball was on everyone's minds as the Greyhounds won the first state basketball championship in 1928 and again in 1929. Football also won their state championship, and radio came on the scene with the first football game aired in 1931. The college took on the Greyhound mascot in 1929 and began having a live Greyhound at the games in the 50s. In 1932, enrollment nearly tripled with 306 students, some of which were in the FSJC Orchestra, the only junior college orchestra in the state at that time. Some of the students were on the championship track teams of 1933 and 1935. Football had an amazing first undefeated season in 1935 and became Kansas State champions again. All of our winning teams were cheered on by the FSJC Pep Club students and celebrating later with dancing the polka at Teen Town. In 1965, Leon Foster became the first college president separate from high school administration, and in 1967, the college moved to its own campus at 2108 South Horton, where it currently resides. Classes began on September 18th at the new site in the academic building, which is now Bailey Hall. The Rodeo Club took the college by storm in 1968, and the first rodeo was held in 1969. This was the same year that enrollment more than doubled to 739 students. The cosmetology program was established in 1969 and written about in the first edition of the Greyhound Express. The turbulent 70s saw FSCC continue to grow new programs, activities, and clubs. Community and area outreach programs gained popularity with the first grade school music festival hosted by the college, with over 20 schools participating. The Practical Nursing School program held their first graduation in October 1971, and in 1972, the administration building, now named the Dick Hedges Administration Building, was built, including the first on-campus living arrangements for students. Jim Meisner, a graduate in the class of 1963, started the wrestling team in 1973. In 1975, the rodeo team, coached by Gary Harvey, replaced the rodeo club, and the first Aggie Days were held on campus in 1977. The Chase, an FSCC magazine, sponsored by Bernita Hill, also began in 1977, along with the tradition of theater students and the community going to Broadway on Thanksgiving break, a tradition started by theater instructor Rod Peterson. The truck driving program began in 1979 and quickly became one of the most popular technical degrees given. FSCC continued to offer new opportunities for the students' community in the 1980s, starting with the first dinner theater, Life with Father. The campus expanded with the building of Arnold Arena, which opened in 1982, one of the only buildings in the country to house both a beautiful basketball court and rodeo arena. Also in 1982, enrollment reached over 1,000 students, topping at 1,381. 1983 was the year that Phi Theta Kappa, an academic program, was first formed. FSCC has had 4 recipients of the International Scholarship: Abby Mangarelli, Jared Barr, Taylor Bailey, and Shelby Hutchinson. In 1986, FSCC's chemistry instructor, Howard Kivett, was honored with the Fulbright Exchange, a program that sends expert U.S. teachers to support projects identified by U.S. embassies and Fulbright commissions in schools, teacher training colleges, government ministries, and educational NGOs. The Silver Sensations dance team, under the direction of Mert Barrows, first lit up the field in 1989, creating an exciting addition to halftime performances. They were followed by the FSCC cheerleaders and dance team in later years. The 1990s were an eventful time for all of FSCC's programs. In 1993, the Marching Greyhound Band was selected to be the official representative of Kansas at President Clinton's first inaugural parade. The band was directed by Rhonda Bailey, a graduate in the class of 1976, and the only woman to have 2 bands perform for inauguration parade. The college saw some wonderful theater performances, including a few with Jason Sudeikis in his 3rd semester. He's best known for his comedic roles on Saturday Night Live. In 1996, the rodeo team, coached by John Luthie, also a graduate of the class of 1976, competed in the College National Finals Rodeo in Bozeman, Montana, and placed 2nd in the nation. Then, in 2001, the team sent 8 students to the College National Finals. The Fort Lincoln Schoolhouse first moved to the northeast corner of the FSCC campus in June of 1974, and in 2000 it was celebrated with a production called Voices from a One-Room School. Technology and new programs were the focus at the turn of the century when FSCC joined the online education world, making online classes available in 2001. FSCC expanded their technical programs with the opening of the John Deere Tech Center in 2002 and the Harley-Davidson Motorcycle Tech School in 2004. The nursing program found a new home by moving to the Burke Street campus. In 2004, the baseball team was named the NJCAA Spring Academic Team for having the highest GPA in the country. A celebration honoring native son Gordon Parks held its first 3-day event in 2004. The Gordon Parks celebration is an annual event that continues on to this day. The college started its 9th decade in 2009 when the new Ellis Fine Arts building was completed with a state-of-the-art auditorium. The same year, enrollment broke the 2,000 mark with 2,018 students enrolled. The year was topped off with the Greyhound football team competing in a championship game, the first since 1972. 2010 saw the meets judging team win its first national championship title, and 2014 saw the men's basketball team go to nationals. 2016 FSCC was the first college in Kansas to receive accreditation from the National Association of Developmental Education. 2018 women's golf started with 2 golfers qualifying and participating in nationals.
FSCC has provided affordable, quality education for a century now. It is the oldest, longest continuous community college in all of Kansas. Here's to another 100 years of students first, community always.
Maroon and gray of yesterday, fond memories I cannot forget. Bits and pieces of good old days, I still remember them yet. Clifford H. Lyman.